All right. Now, the same child is also a picky eater. Okay, she's very picky about any food that she eats. She doesn't want to try any new foods at all. She has, since she was born, she has never tasted any fruits or fruit flavored jellies or any kind of juice. Okay, so she refuses to eat any food if she puts in an ingredient that the child's unfamiliar with, or if they change the cooking style a little bit. So how can she get her child to eat a bigger diversity of foods without resistance? Now, I've worked with a wide variety of kids that have food tolerance related issues. You know, I've had kids that only ate Fig Newtons and that's the only thing that they would eat. I've had kids that only eat eggs and that's the only thing that they would eat. And so, you know, we've dealt with this fairly routinely with across all the kids that we work with. All right, so the thing is that for us, it's about the diversity and having the child learn to try new things, okay? And so what we do is we just desensitize them to a wide variety of different foods or a wide variety of different tastes and different flavors. Now, since she's already 8 years old, this is going to be a battle. So there's not going to be any non-resistance here. It's going to be a battle, okay? Now, the thing is that it depends on whether you want to go slowly over time and get them to desensitize themselves to various foods, or you want to just step on the gas and like, nope, we're going to get you done and over with this as quickly as possible. Now, the slow way is never my preferred way. I always like to cut to the chase and do it. But this slow way has less resistance to it than the other way. The other way, it's almost guaranteed to be big fights and you have to go and fight those fights. So in desensitization method, which is a slower method, what you're doing is you can either choose one food or a selection of food, and every single day you're just advancing their tolerance of it a little bit. So in the beginning, it might just be, okay, all I want you to do is touch it. All right, that's all you have to do. And then when they do, you reinforce them and then you let them go until they easily like, oh, every time they touch it, you know. Then the next thing is like, oh, I want you to just put it on your lip. That's it. That's all I want you to do. And so you just slowly get them used to having it in their mouths or sleep, you know, and you just gradually build up their tolerance to that particular item. All right. Now that's the desensitization method, and you're just kind of slowly moving it along. And the other method that I prefer is flooding. Now, same with desensitization, with the flooding, you can choose either one food or a variety of foods to work with in the beginning. And so I would start with a small portion of something. And usually I like to start with sauces, you know, something that I can get and put in their mouth. And as soon as it's in their mouth, it's already dissolved. Like there's no getting it out. And so that's what I'm doing is like, okay, here it is. Here's a small little bit. You have to eat that. They refuse to eat it. You make sure it gets in their mouths, right? You make sure they swallow it. Once they're done, you do it again. And you keep on doing it until they take it themselves. And so that's what you're going to do is for every sauce, you're going to desensitize them until they're able to just by themselves every single time be able to take it and try it themselves. All right. Now, there's one other method, and this one is the hardest for parents to pull off, but it entails the least amount of conflict. Now, it doesn't mean your child's not going to cry. When I talk about the conflict, they will cry and they're going to try to, you know, get what they want. But in this method, what we're doing is, as a part of their meal time, you give them one small item that they have to eat before they can have their regular meal. So for one of the kids that I worked with who only ate eggs, that's what we did is, okay, every meal, mom would require to have him eat one kernel of corn. And the only way he could get his meal is he eats that corn on his own. So you're not fighting him. If you don't want to eat, that's fine. Go away. Don't eat. But you come here in order to get your egg, you have to eat this corn. you know? And so the child learns to just, oh, okay, every time I eat, I just got to eat this corn, you know? And then you slowly increase the amount of corn that he has to eat. And then we introduce like peas next. And then we slowly diversified the items. And over the long term, I think it was over the course of a year, we grew the amount of different foods that he had to eat before he could get his egg, until he got to the point where he would get full off of everything on his plate and he wouldn't want the egg anymore because he was already full.